Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where this evening the Senators will try to even their record in the Patoka Lake Athletic Conference. If they win, they'll go to 2-2 on the year, and that'll give them back-to-back wins for the first time on this very home floor. Standing in their way, those conference rival Crawford County, they come to town with an identical record of 6-9 overall, 1-2 in the PLAC. So tonight it's the Wolfpack coming into the Burden to take on the Senators in a key Patoka Lake Athletic Conference showdown, and your countdown to the tip starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me in just a moment for tonight's broadcast of Senator basketball will be the doctor of defense on the gridiron, Mr. Mark Gibson. Well, the Senators have had a chance to kind of finish strong here. They've been given an opportunity after they earned a big win on the road at Mitchell, bringing them to 1-2 to stop the bleeding in conference play. Again, a chance tonight to even that record with a couple of games left on the slate in conference, with Valley and Orleans still left to go. And of course, those are very winnable games, but they're going to also pose different challenges along the way for Coach Smith's ball club with different matchups. Orleans with some key pieces back. They played Valley once, got beat over in the holiday tourney over at Springs Valley in pool play, but was certainly well within reach in that ball game as well. So they'll try to end the drought here tonight against Crawford County. Again, a team coming in with a 6-9 mark, 1-2 in conference play, but they're certainly going to have to sharpen things up from Saturday night. It was a big win for the Senators at home, 66-39, the final in that one over New Wash, the second time beating the Mustangs this year. And many people in Senator Nation may say, hey, hold the phone just a second. That was a big-time win. 27 points on their home floor. Got, three guys in double figures, two of them off the bench. What's the problem with that? Well, the problem, in my opinion, is that we were not on point. We were not very sharp, and we talked about it throughout the broadcast, just being very matter of fact. A lot of silly fouls, a lot of silly turnovers, 18 turnovers in all in that ball game, and the silly fouls led to double bonus opportunities early at the free throw line in the second half for a New Wash team that really, struggled to score. So trying to put a team away right now is a bit of a struggle for this young group as they continue to mature and grow and develop throughout the course of the season. So we'll see if maybe perhaps they can turn the page here tonight and in turn snap a long losing streak. They have lost 8 straight to Crawford County, and Crawford comes in, of course, as the defending Class 2A state finalist, of course losing in Baker's Life last year in the 2A final. Coach, where's it got to start tonight for the Senators?
Well, I think, honestly, it starts on the defensive end. I mean, we're starting to shoot the ball a little bit better as the season goes on. We had some struggles early, but we're starting to shoot a little bit better. But I think the key is defensively. We have to – Dearborn's a big guy in the middle for Crawford. I think, they really like to go down to their post. So we're going to have to pack it in a little bit and defend the paint a little. We can't give up easy baskets. So, and going back to what you were just talking about last Saturday about New Wash, another key is probably intensity and energy. I mean, we're going to have to be able to match Crawford's energy because they're going to come in here and they always play hard. And you mentioned that we've struggled with them in recent years. So, they're going to come out with high energy, and we're going to have to be able to duplicate that. I'm not sure we did that last Saturday. Friday, I think we did against North Harrison, but Saturday, I'm not so sure if we played with the same intensity, and sometimes that happens when you play a team for the second time and you beat them that first time by 30. So hopefully that's over, and we can come out and play well tonight.
Well, as for Crawford County, it's been a bit of a drop-off after making that stellar run all the way to Baker's Life in Class 2A last spring. And, of course, coming back with a few key pieces. Many might have thought in Crawford County that it would be another nice year, but they've stumbled out of the gate again to just a 6-9 mark. This is a team, though, that has some veterans. Again, people that played on that deep state-run team last year, including their big man, 6'5 senior, Matt Dearborn. And he'll look to try to set the tone, I'm sure, for them early. But, Coach, this is a team that's also a little bit hungry. They've got back-to-back wins coming into this one. Again, though, of their 6 wins, 3 of them come against Perry Central. So, it's kind of hard to gauge how good this team really is. They did get a nice win over Tell City as well. But again, they're in the midst of a 7-game road swing. This is game 2 of 7 straight on the road for the Wolfpack. So I'm sure they'll be hungry tonight. And again, try to establish some dominance early in the paint with the likes of Matt Dearborn.
Yeah, and I think it's Harvey. They have another boy down there. So you mentioned he's 6'5". I think they have another 6'2" guy. But the paint, when we defend it well and we rebound, we usually have good things. At the end of the ball game, things usually turn out well. When we rebound well and when we defend other teams' bigs, that's a recipe for success for the Senators. So hopefully that continues tonight. We've talked about. I think a key is are these freshmen kind of hitting a wall? Maybe that was a problem Saturday. These freshmen have played a lot of minutes, and I was talking with Philip earlier, in the week. I know they're used to playing a lot of ball, and they played a lot of ball as youngsters, but that's low-stress basketball, really. And when you step on and play varsity as a freshman, that's high stress. So these minutes are a little bit more stressful. And I think, the last couple of games, I know Holden hasn't been real happy with the way he played, and, Parker's kind of struggled the last couple of games. I think maybe it's seeing a little bit of a freshman wall, and you just have to kind of bust through that, because when you start getting towards the tournament, things start to re-energize a little bit more. But but when you're a freshman, sometimes you have to fight through that wall a little bit.
Well, here tonight, we'll see if the Senators can get the job done. It's a battle of 6 and 9 teams, and 2 teams in search of another big conference win, both standing at 1 and 2. We want to thank you, the fans, as always, though, during this moment that we have during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, brought to you by John Jones, GM City. Thank you for not only tuning in, but to give thanks to all of the great sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator and Lady Senator basketball possible this season on Salem's 1220. Those sponsors include John Jones, GM City, your pregame show sponsor all season long, Eddie Gilstrap Motors bringing you the Senator Halftime Report, and Ace Hardware of Salem, which will bring you our post-game show wrap-up here from the Ron Smith Court, as well as McDonald's on South Main Street, Walmart of Salem, Brady Bishop and Channel Seeds, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. We'll step aside, take our first break of the night, and as always, hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Senator head coach Sean Smith to get his thoughts on tonight's matchup with the Pack. You're listening to Senator Basketball tonight on Salem's 1220.
Before the big plays, before the magical moments, before all that discipline, dedication, and teamwork finally pays off, comes your... Schools and coaches receive the support they need so that Indiana student athletes receive the opportunity they deserve. Learn more at ihsaafoundation.org.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our Senator Tip-Off pregame show as we continue our countdown to the tip here tonight. 2 PLAC rivals going at it. Crawford County coming to town tonight with a 6-9 mark, matching that of the Senators. And we're joined now by Senator head coach, Mr. Sean Smith. Coach, your team's coming off of a much-needed win, a nice confidence boost for them as we wrap up, of course, January and now move into February, coming off of a big win at home on Saturday night, 66-39 in the final over New Wash. I know in the postgame you said you wasn't really pleased with the defensive effort at times and some other things. So after you've had a chance maybe to go back and reflect a little bit more, just give us some reflective thoughts on the performance overall.
Yeah, well, looking back, I think that after a couple games of pressing, we haven't pressed a lot this year, but I think it kind of gets away from our principles, and we get in foul trouble. We start reaching, we get out of position, and then when we come back into the half court, we're not in the gaps to help on dribble penetration, and we get beat off the dribble, and that's probably, looking back, that's why our defensive effort, I don't know if as much effort as just the pressing factor kind of got us away from doing what we're trained to do, and we got in some late fouls there that definitely didn't want to see, and got a little undisciplined, throughout the game, kind of aided New Washington as far as their scoring efforts and getting to the line some or getting some easy looks because they beat us off the dribble. It's just one of those things. I don't think we're quite long enough, quick enough overall to be a real solid pressing team. I mean, it certainly was effective and did the job as far as beating New Washington, being able to call some turnovers up front and get us some easy baskets and get us some breathing room. But like I said, on the back end of it, I think it got us away from our principles.
Well, and that's just, another learning experience for a team that we've said all year, of course, is young and maturing and growing right before our very eyes on the basketball floor. But, at this time of year, people start to say, well, you're freshmen are really like sophomores like juniors and so forth. But learning not only how to put a team away and to stay sharp in a game where you've got a pretty sizable lead in the second half, but also keeping a team like that off the foul line. Coach Gibson and I talked about that in the later half of the broadcast, the ability to play solid D without giving a team a chance to put points on the board every time the clock stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just little things that we have to learn, and it's part of the process. And when you have a lead, you don't want to foul. You don't want to give the other team a chance to score. The clock stop, and just being smart and disciplined in that situation. It's something we struggle with a little bit in that game, and we need to learn from because that could come back to bite us down the road if we don't fix that.
And as we said in the post-game, Coach, another nice night for Nick, kind of getting back on track, career high 18 for him. And then, again, the play of guys like Jake off the bench. And, at North Harrison, it was Caden Abels. Saturday night, that seventh man was Gavin Smith, who poured in a career high at the varsity level off the bench. So that bench production, as we said, not only does it vary from night to night, keeping teams off balance and not allowing them to key on certain reserves coming off the bench, but it also gives some relief to your starters.
Yeah, I definitely we're really pleased with Jake's progress. He's really growing and developing as a player, and Gavin had a really nice game off the bench, had a good weekend, and with him we've talked all year about what he could bring to the table offensively. We need to see on the flip side with him. We need to see him continue to improve defensively and just getting up and down the court, and transition defense and things like that. But thought he did a good job, in his time Saturday with New Wash, and had a nice game and a career high as well. So those two guys are certainly key pieces moving forward, and we want to see them continue to improve and get better.
And, of course, tonight, now you turn your attention back to conference play. And, again, Crawford comes in, identical records overall and in conference, 6-9, 1-2. They're coming off of a win over Perry. And fans might not realize this unless they pay attention closely to the Herald site and to the newspapers. But their 6 wins, 3 of them have been against Perry Central, a team that we struggled with down the stretch and was trying to make a comeback against on the road. So talk to us about Crawford County, what they offer, and what their personnel looks like.
Well, Crawford, yeah, they've 3 of their 6 wins are against Perry. That's wild that they played them 3 times. But and that Perry game again kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with New Washington. We thought that we could press Perry. They didn't have a lot of great ball handlers, and we tried to pick up the tempo and press them, and I think we got away from our defensive principles, and Perry was able to break it just enough, and then when they got us in the half court, we got spread out, and they took advantage of it some, and we dug a hole, and that game we just it was a tough game. We just didn't play real well, and we had a lot of foul trouble, and like I said, back when we played them, it's any time one rule we try to talk about is making more free throws than our opponent's attempt, and they made more in one quarter than we shot the whole game. So it's hard to win that way. Sure. But it was a good learning experience for us to get better, and we know we got to play tough when you go on the road. Crawford, they have a really big, solid player in Dearborn. He was on their semi-state team last year, and I thought he was kind of an unsung player for them because he just. He's big and strong, and he just would get big rebounds for them. And when they needed a basket in the paint, they'd go to him a lot. And he's just kind of a rugged, big, strong guy inside, and he's going to give us a lot of issues. we have to, we're going to have to do a really good job of focusing on him, I'd say, because I think they play through him quite a bit. And then from there, they play a lot of kids. I mean, the other 4 spots, sometimes they'll go double big and they'll bring the Stroud kid off, who's also like 6'6". And then other times I've seen them where they'll play 4 guards around Dearborn, and they'll rotate a lot of different guards in those positions. And they're scrappy, and they can knock down open shots. And the thing that really concerns me more than is on the other end. Defensively, they mix up their defenses. They play a ton of different defenses, and a lot of zone traps and things like that. And they're very aggressive and have very active hands. They're looking. You can tell they're looking to get deflections. And if we don't do a good job of pass faking and attacking the seams of their different zone looks and that sort of thing, we try to, I kind of call it like passing out of the pocket. We sit back and we try to pass over top of all that stuff and just kind of, thread needle passes or over the top type stuff. They anticipate. They're real ball conscientious, and they'll go steal the ball. They'll go knock it loose. So we're gonna have to do a good job, and we worked on that all week. A couple different drills of using pass fakes and just trying to be more sure with the basketball and not just telegraph everything. And so that really is probably the biggest concern I have, is how we handle that, because I thought at North Harrison, we came out early and spotted them a 10-point lead because we didn't handle their zone press very well, and we had guys kind of back on their heels, and we were telegraphing some things. We're playing timid, and if we do that, they're going to certainly take advantage of that and be able to create some offense for themselves, and we could end up in a hole. So we got to be ready to play. I think if we're ready to play and take the fight to them, and use their pressure against them, we can certainly, get off to a good start. We're going to have a great chance to win the game. I feel good about it. It really, that's probably going to be the biggest key is can we handle their different looks, and not get kind of mesmerized by the change up of defense, and then again use their pressure against them to score, or at least get good shots, and then on the opposite end, be able to handle Dearborn and keep him off the boards.
Sounds like it'll definitely be an all-hands-on-deck situation. Sometimes recently at least, it seems like we've had guard-oriented matchups. It's been, a big factor for us. Some nights it's the bigs, like down at North Harrison, and it sounds like tonight it's going to be just kind of a mixed bag depending on what lineup they go with.
Absolutely, yeah. If they go 4-guard with the 4-guard look, we may have to match up to that. And then, of course, they could bring the other big kid off and go double big, and we'll have to, certainly have to do the same. I mean, because both of them are like 6'5" or 6'6". So, it'll be, it's going to be a mixed bag. We'll have to see how they come out, and for us, it's just going to have to be about making adjustments and taking care of the basketball and just continuing to get better at handling different defensive looks, which is good for us because, there's a couple teams in our sectional that try to play that way, and mix it up, and we've got to be able to handle that stuff.
Coach, what about the health of the lineup?
And that will do it for the conversation that I had with Coach Smith prior to tip tonight, as we quickly take a look at tonight's Keys to Victory, brought to you by John Jones GM City. First and foremost, Coach, the interior defense, we talked about it. The Dearborn kid will try to impose his will, I'm sure, in the paint. Got to be able to bring doubles, force him, and try to get him to kick out to the perimeter and let guys recover off a double down. And then free throws, just aren't getting a high volume of free throws right now. We didn't get them again even on Saturday night in the big win. And just discipline. I thought we lacked that at times in the second half, especially against New Wash. So discipline for 32 minutes might go a long way here tonight for a big conference win. Those Keys to Victories brought to you by our pregame show sponsor, John Jones GM City, all season long. Call John Jones GM City to get more details on a new or used vehicle. 1-800-473-5546, 1-800-I-SELL-GM. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com, or check them out at that beautiful showroom and lot, 1450. Confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium in the Ron Smith Court, where tonight the Senators go back into play into Patoka Lake, taking on the Crawford County Wolfpack. It's time to meet tonight's starters. Brought to you by John Jones GM City. Again, 1-800-I-SELL-GM. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com or stop by their beautiful showroom and lot, 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. First for the Crawford County Wolfpack, 6-9 on the year, 1-2 in the Patoka Lake. Their last outing was a 61-40 win over the Commodores of Perry Central. Levi Carmichael, the head coach in his third season, 45-24. In his fifth year overall, 61-51. He will start number 24, Noah Sturgeon, at the point, 5'9", and a senior. Sturgeon averages 3 points and 1 rebound per ball game. Preston Coleman will start in the backcourt with him, number 22. He's a 5'11 sophomore at 5 points, 3 rebounds per ball game. Number 15, Caleb Newton, will start at the 3. He's 6 foot and a senior at 1 point, 2 rebounds per game. And up front, it'll be a freshman-senior combo. Number 34, Trevor Harvey, 6'2 and a freshman at 4 points, 2 rebounds per game. And the team's leading scorer, Matt Dearborn, number 35, 6'5 and a senior at 11 points, 6 rebounds per contest for Coach Levi Carmichael. Meanwhile, for the West Washington Senators, 6-9 on the year, 1-2 in the Patoka Lake. Sean Smith's the head coach. He's 58-36 in his 4th season in the Berg, 143 and 125 overall in his 12th season. Senators average 48.6 and give up 49.7. Again, their last outing, a 66-39 romp over New Wash here on Saturday night. 3-guard set for coaches. Usual, number 22, Holden Bousman, is a 6-foot freshman. He starts at the point at 8.5 points, 2.2 boards per contest. He starts with the senior, 6-foot Cam Zink, number 10. He averages 3.9 points per contest. The other guard in the trio, number 12, Parker Green, another 6-foot freshman at 5.8 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per contest. Up front, Harrison Sanford and Nick Mars will play the forwards. Harrison, number 24, is a 6'2 sophomore at 6.1 points per game and 4.8 rebounds. Nick Mars is a 6'3 senior wearing number 34. He averages just a shade under 10 points per game to lead the team and just over 4 rebounds per contest for Coach Sean Smith. Again, series the last 30 years, it's a 20-10 lead for Crawford. They've built 8 straight wins against the Senators, meaning Coach Smith's 0-3 against the Wolfpack here in the Berg. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials are Mr. Dave Hedge, Kevin Woolsey, and Mr. Tim Johnson from the Tell City area. Crawford in the brown threads tonight. The road unis trimmed in orange and white, orange letters and numerals. Senators in the home white threads trimmed in blue and red with blue letters and numerals. We are underway and glad to have you along for the ride tonight here on Salem's 1220. Misty Jones alongside Senator Football's own Mark Gibson. Craig Akers running the live stream feed for you as well. As we're underway, Crawford turns it over after controlling the opening tip, and the Senators are in business as we're going to see a little matchup 3-2 zone, and they are sliding around well and moving with a purpose in this zone. They get a deflection as Holden nearly turns it over, gets it back, saves it in the corner to Zink. Just over a half minute gone by in this one. And Crawford, as expected, you heard Coach talk about it. They'll throw a variety of defenses. Will Coach Carmichael. It's kind of like when Mike Brown was at Crawford and Paoli, so not a lot changed defensively for the Pack when they made the switch to Carmichael as head coach whenever Mike Brown headed out for South Dearborn.
Yeah, that means we need to make good decisions.
3-ball. Parker Green gets it started on the night. Parker shredding the nets, nothing but string music for the freshman, and that's good signs, things to come hopefully for the Senator coaching staff if Parker comes out with an aggressive look to score here tonight. Will be in good shape. 3-ball at the other end to answer right back though by Trevor Harvey. So the freshman answers the freshman. And we are underway in what should be a dandy this evening. Again, glad to have you along for the ride. Minute and a half gone by in the first 3-3.
Coach Myers, he was talking about that freshman, that he could really shoot for Crawford. So, we're going to have to keep our eye on him.
It has solid ball rotation. Keep that zone hopping. Holden to Zink. He misses a three, but Parker with an offensive board to go with his 3 points already. Nick fires three left side. It won't go. Rebound fought for, and it'll be last touched by Dearborn as him and Harrison were fighting on the weak side for the board. 6:13 to go first quarter. 3-3 your score. Senators will have a double stack. One on the block and one on the ball side elbow. Nice lob feed inside. And Harrison catches on the fly. And he's able to bank it home for two. Senators back out in front, 5-3 advantage.
Nice little out of bounds play there. There's a game or two where you were complaining that we weren't getting any offense out of our out of bounds play. So there, that one was for you.
Thank you. 5:55 and counting to the other end. Big swat. And so that so far is Parker with a
Nice.
3-point basket to get us rolling out of the gate offensively. An offensive board to save a possession, which we scored on an out-of-bounds play, and a big rejection there as the Senators get another deflection. And Crawford struggling right now to settle into a rhythm in the half court with the dribble drive out front. Sturgeon going to leave it off. Now get it back in the middle. Throw it to Preston Coleman. He'll drive in and shoot it off the glass for two. And we're tied for the second time at 5 apiece.
Again, there, Crawford throwing a little press at us because they've seen us have a little trouble at times when we don't take care of the ball. Broke it nicely there.
Noah Adams, a 5'8" freshman, check in at the first dead ball opportunity for Coach Levi Carmichael and the Wolfpack. Holden has it, far left side. He'll skip it all the way across quarter. Try to at least to Nick Mars. That'll be a turnover. West Washington's first of the night. 3 minutes gone by in this one. 5-5 your score. And to the other end, Crawford, their first chance to take a lead here tonight. And back out front with the dribble. Sturgeon's going to slow it up. Looks to go off the dribble drive to Harrison.
Interesting.
Senators switch it
Holden's
up.
got matched up on Dearborn.
Dearborn dribble drive. Kicks it back out, though, to Newton. Right back out to Sturgeon. And Sturgeon will be content to take another high screen from Dearborn. Instead, kicks corner, gets it back. Sturgeon now high post to Coleman, down to Dearborn as he got the mismatch working against Parker and Harrison. And Dearborn, with his first two of the night, gives Crawford their first advantage at 7-5.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the matchup we want right there with Holden on Dearborn the whole night. So when we find it, when we're able to switch back, I mean, Harrison and Holden had a chance to switch back there and they didn't do it.
Crawford must have watched a little bit of the North Harrison tape because they used a little three-quarter court 1-2-2 zone press, and they fell back into the half-court 1-2-2 as the Senators turn it over for the second time. Substitutions, as again we will see number 20 Noah Adams check in. Coach Smith's going to burn a 30-second timeout. Caden Abels, a 5'7" junior, will check in for his first minutes as well at 2.8 points per ball game. 4:08 to go first quarter. Senators trail it by 2. On Crawford's first lead of the night at 7-5. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Senators out of the timeout. First sub off the bench tonight, Caden Abel, so he'll go out with Green and Bousman in the backcourt trio. Again, Mars and Sanford up front. And we had a substitution as well, as it was Caleb Newton, the senior, who checks out and into the ball game. The 5'8" freshman, as I said, Noah Adams, in for his first minutes of the night at 3 points per ball game for Coach Carmichael and the Wolfpack. Ball reversal from Coleman. They'll go inside from the corner. And it was Adams trying to feed Dearborn. They tried to block his shot. This is going to be our first foul of the evening.
Nick, I think.
And they're going to get Nick Mars for the first foul of the night. So that'll send Dearborn to the line where he's about a 70% free throw shooter. First free throw up. Rotation looked good. And couldn't get it to rattle home. Touched about every part of the iron.
That's twice they've had a pretty easy post feed in there. We can't just be content to let the big boy catch the ball and try to block his shot. That's going to be a recipe for disaster.
Dearborn, second one is up and good. So give him 3 on the night, and it's 8-5. And Holden will walk it up, the birthday boy. Celebrating number 15. Gets it into the front court, gives it up to Abels, and on the ball reversal now kicks it to his classmate, Parker Green. Usually one time a night I get him or Harrison in a little bit of trouble by referring to their older brother as Parker. Knocks down a long range 2. Just barely towing the line, this time from the opposite direction, and it's an 8-7 score. Senators trail it by 1 on the kick out. High post feed. Shot missed from about 16 feet straight away by Preston Coleman. Senators back at it, trying to reclaim the lead. One lead change thus far. Parker has it, skips it cross court to Holden. Now into the post. Beautiful bullet pass inside to Harrison, who can't finish. Did not use the glass. And Crawford comes out with the defensive rebound. In transition, Coleman leaves it off out top now for Adams, the freshman. He'll go to the corner. And Sturgeon tries to dribble out of trouble. Holden on the floor. Nice effort to get after and forcing to give it up to Dearborn, and then Holden with another deflection. Back out, closes on Sturgeon. They feed inside. Dearborn left it short against Parker and Nick. And now we'll have a rebounding foul going the other way. Good work on the glass by the Senators.
That was really nice work. Nice recovery. I think it was Harrison when Dearborn got it down low. Harrison did a nice job of contesting that bunny. On the other side, we got to make sure we convert on those bunnies. We just missed Holden had a nice find down on the box, and we just couldn't finish it.
Big Papa Cool, 6'4" freshman Jake Strange into the ball game, fresh off that 15-point performance, a career high for him against New Wash on Saturday night. Skips it cross court again against the zone, and Parker tried to bank that one in nearly from the corner. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound fought for, and Sturgeon will race it up. Leaves it off on the wing. 3-ball on the way is good as Trevor Harvey has his second triple. Same spot, same result. It's 11-7.
Same. You can't let him just spot up for the easy 3.
Nice feed. Jake hitting and cutting Nick Mars on the left baseline. Good move, good take right off the pass, and Mars wastes no time getting right to the rack. It's 11-9 as Holden picks up Sturgeon now. Coach Myers up to direct some traffic defensively behind Coach Smith. Minute 45 and counting, first quarter of play. Abels able to force the kick to the corner 3. This time will not go for Harvey. Senators will push. Abels into the front court. Goes behind the back. Nifty move with the dribble. Now tries to feed high post, kick ball as they tried to feed Strange. And we'll see the other junior guard, Mikey Nichols, at 5'10", check in. He averages 5.7 a game. He'll spell Mars. So Senators playing a lot of small ball right now. Coach, 4 guards on the floor, 2 freshmen, 2 juniors, and then the freshman big man Jake in there by himself. Also ends Nick Stroud, a 6'6" junior for the Wolfpack. 3-ball won't go for Senator Nation, so they'll have to hustle back to the defensive end of the floor where Abels will quickly pick up Adams. And we'll give up a little nickel dimer out front. Tim Johnson with the call. And this will go on Abels as his first. Again, just 2 on the team.
1:15 to go. We've done a nice job. Especially in Harvey's 3-pointers, we came right back down and answered. We talk about this team sometimes. We let teams go on extended runs, but we've done a nice job of answering tonight.
Dearborn back into the ball game. So now they'll go big ball as they have 6'6" Stroud in with 6'5" Dearborn, and they were afraid that they would see a lot of this rotation, but not so sure I'd be scared of that if that's the way Stroud shoots it in the paint. Just threw it wildly out of bounds.
Jake
it was a
Jake
shot
did a
attempt.
nice job of just standing there with his hands up, but
I think he was more worried about drawing contact on Strange than the shot itself. 2-2-1 zone press here for the Pack. Adams out front of that press with Sturgeon as Nichols will cross into the half court. Mars back into the ball game, so Mars out there with Jake, Holden, Mikey, and Caden. See if we can hold for one here. Little 2-3 zone action now, playing big ball is Crawford, so they go 2-3 zone, Dearborn out front. Now they'll switch it back up and they'll go to that 1-2-2 with a trap out top. Holden with the pump fake. Back to Nichols. Nichols dribbles through trouble, through the trap, kicks out to Holden, thought about 3, splits a double. Nice feed underneath. Jake had it blocked from behind. Nice feed. Way to thread the needle, freshman to freshman connection. And Jake will head to the free throw line off of Crawford's second foul of the night. And for Matt Dearborn, he'll pick up his first personal of the evening with 26.2. Beautiful set, good patience by this Senator backcourt to find Jake Strange. And Strange, how about this? Old Flathead coming along, 44% shooter on the year from the foul stripe, 12 of 27. But Jake, much better as of late, soaks the first.
Yeah, as the season's gone on, he's gotten a little bit more comfortable. That's one thing when we talked about the freshmen maybe hitting the wall a little bit, Holden and Parker with all the minutes. Well, Jake's really come on. He didn't play quite as many minutes at the beginning of the year as Parker and Holden, but he is really coming on.
Jake hits them both, ties us up for the third time at 11 apiece. Rolling upon 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Holden stands in the defensive pistols look, hands out and ready. He forces the give up to Coleman. They'll try to feed inside. Turnover as they couldn't get it to Dearborn. 4 seconds, 3. Abel's half-court shot won't go. And time now is going to expire as that last attempt will be waved off. So nothing settled after 8 minutes of play in Campbellsburg. 11 all your score. Wolfpack and Senators 1 quarter in the books tonight. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. We'll come back with second quarter action right after this.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup. And the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Out of the quarter break, Senators will open the second quarter of play with the rock, and they will go with a lineup of Green, Nichols, Zink, and out there with Jake Strange and Harrison Sanford. Harrison catches high post, tried to give it up, and he drug the pivot foot before he could find Jake down on the block. Turnover number 3 for the Senators out of the quarter break. 15 seconds gone by here in the second, and Crawford's got their first possession of the period.
Yeah, Harrison's probably a little bit too deep into the lane for that to try to make that pass.
Senators working a little 3-2 matchup of their own, more of a condensed, not so much a true 1-2-2 as they flatten that top guy. Nichols more to the free throw line. And a ball reversal again out front as Adams, the freshman, a little passive, had an opportunity. Instead, they'll go to the other freshman, Trevor Harvey, and he knocks down his third triple of the night. And Crawford back out in front, 14-11. 1 lead change, 3 ties in that first quarter of plays. Nichols controls, nice high-low feed. Jake wasn't ready for it off the feed from Harrison this time. So 2 turnovers on 2 trips. And now Crawford back to work. Are you kidding me? Again! That is 4 in a row for him from that right side to the corner extended. Somebody's got to get a hand up. As you hear him say all the time, old Mark Jackson, hand down, man down. And he's knocked down 4 of 5 from the three-point line in this one. His hot shooting has given Crawford their largest lead of the night. Now it's 6 at 17-11. Prompts a timeout for Coach Smith. We'll take a quick one as well and come back right after this.
This is Kelly, and this is my Walmart. This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
Back to more second quarter action. Timeout taken by Coach Smith. Again, the freshman Trevor Harvey, 4 of 5 as Holden couldn't get the 3 to go to answer from the right corner. Minute and a half gone by here in the second. Crawford enjoying their largest cushion of the night at 6, 17-11. Out front with the basketball's Christian Carlton, who played a lot of minutes in the JV game, 6 foot and a junior. And Crawford dry on this trip, so Holden will try to rush it back down to the other end, gives it up to Cam. Nice spin move, right side goes in, and it will be a foul. Crawford fans probably thought it was more of a jump ball.
Kind of bailed Cam out a little bit.
Come down though across the forearm, raking that forearm. That will earn Cam a trip to the free throw line. Senators on the year 60.2% from the foul line as a team. Cam just 11 of 22 for 50%. First one's up and good. So Senators 3 for 3 out of the gate from the line. Substitutions here as Dearborn's going to check out with the freshman Noah Adams. We'll see Sturgeon check back into the ball game. And Stroud check that Colton Nicholson instead, rather, into the ball game for his first minutes of the night. Nicholson 6'4", so you got 6'4", 6'6", 6'5" at your disposal in the post. That's a pretty nice group to run with if you really wanted to play some big ball, but we've not seen more than 2 of them on the floor together at one point thus far, as Coach Carmichael's gone 9 deep. And Christian Carlton gets into the paint on the kick out. He's going to skip it over to the freshman Harvey.
Got him to miss one.
Got 2 guys on the floor. Parker took a hard spill with Mars. And so Zink will wait for the Cavalry to arrive as they both get back down the floor. Again, both Mars and Parker taking a hard spill. Parker perhaps took more of the brunt of the damage, 5:20 and counting. And the Senators go into their little motion set, little cutter look out of a spread, little 5-out pass and slash, cutting off the high post. As Mars will look to drive, tries to shoot a runner and got it to go. Nick pulling a new trick out of the bag as he hits a little Steve Nash floater off glass, under 5 to play. Abels will check in next dead ball. 17-15, Senators hanging tough. It's 11-11 after the first stop. As Christian Carlton, the junior, into the paint once again, forced to kick it back out. And now it'll be Crawford's turn to run a little 5-out guard cut style of offense.
Stay down in your stance, because they're doing a nice job so far keeping everything in front.
Coleman to Carlton in the corner. They kick back out to Sturgeon. Around the perimeter it goes. And Nicholson with it over on the far side. They'll kick out. Carlton 3. That one way off the mark. Parker clears the rebound, skips it ahead, or tries to, rather, to Holden. That pass just a little late. Turnover number 5. And the Senators with a blown opportunity to get out on the break. Halfway home in this second quarter of play. Be a little individual set, a little post ISO underneath, and a nice job of Coleman posting up. He's got his second basket of the night, make it 19-15, Wolfpack out in front.
See if we can answer again. We talked about it in the first quarter when we've done a nice job of answering their points.
Zink with it, out front, spins, gets into a double team. Holden stops, pops, pull up. Jay won't go just inside the 3-point line. Another good look for Holden that wouldn't go. And back to the other end. Holden gets a steal. Parker this time will lead the break himself. 2-on-2, takes a floater off glass. It will not go. I'm sure Parker's not a little dazed out there a little bit after that spill. He hasn't quite acted right with his body language since then. Ball goes to Nicholson on the far side, and on the kick out top, Harvey with a little pump fake. Now he'll show his display of mid-range game as Harvey gets the runner. He's got 14, and it's a 30-second timeout taken by Coach Levi Carmichael, his first one of the night, with 3:12 to go in the period, and the Wolfpack leading it 21-15. As this is the second 6-point lead for the Wolfpack.
Not liked a defensive set or something. He doesn't seem super happy with the 6-point lead right now.
Coach Carlton pretty animated, getting even over and through the headsets. And again, 30-second timeout. Parker's sitting on the bench. trying to gather himself. I don't know if he actually hit his head or not.
I didn't see the fall, so I don't know. But, I was going to say he actually, this is the first time he's come out really aggressive in the first, in the last, 3 games probably. Last weekend he just didn't seem quite like himself. And then tonight he's really, like I said, he's already got 5 rebounds. So, hopefully he's okay.
Parker's checked out. Jake Strange back in to spell him for just a little bit. Just over 3 minutes to play. Cross-court skip pass from Strange in the high post to the wing to Abels, will kick back out now to Zink at the center circle. High screen offered by Harrison. Instead of slipping and getting to the basket, he stays out top as Holden now will work the dribble, and he'll be bumped out top by Christian Carlton. And this will be team foul number 4 against the Wolfpack. And Carlton picks up his first one of the night. 2:50 to play, side stack for the Senators as they'll try to get it in, and they do. They denied Zink in the backcourt, so they go to Abels, who's picked up by Sturgeon. Dribble drive on a little 3-man weave. Holden getting into the paint, kicks it to Harrison, gets it back. Holden now take a tough runner, contorts his body. And how about the birthday boy with his first 2 of the night? Nice shot.
He was off balance there, but, I know you don't want to hear this. As Dockage says, he kept his chin on the rim there, though. Nice play by Holden.
Coach, I'd like to keep my supper down.
Sorry about that. Hey, I feel the same way.
I
do like that, though.
And that's coming from an IU fan rolling up on the 2-minute warning here in this first half of play, 21-17. Crawford enjoying a 4-point advantage. They've led by 6 on 2 occasions. The freshman Harvey set the check in.
Another steal by Holden. It's his 3rd.
Picks the pocket of Carlton and back to the other end. They feed in the front court down low to Harrison. He says no thanks, don't even have him balance, and he kicks out to Zink as the Senators go with that little 3 out, kind of 2-in spread look with our bigs hanging out on the baseline short corner waiting for a dribble drive kick as Abels gets too deep. Gave it up for the 4th time here in this quarter. And now Harrison will go for a little ride as he jumped up to try to block the shot of Preston Coleman. He may have dropped the people's elbow on the back of his noggin as well as Harrison picks up the personal foul. That'll be his first, team foul number 3. And Nick Mars to check in after the first free throw. Coleman to the line. Second set of free throw attempts here tonight for the Wolfpack. Dearborn went 1 of 2 in the quarter. As we're going to see Carlton check out of the ball game, Newton check out of the ball game, and the 2 freshmen of Harvey and Adams check back in for the Wolfpack. Nick's checked into the ball game, and Coleman able to knock them both down. Makes it now 23-17, back to a 6-point advantage, and underneath, nice feed to Jake Strange, who's got his 4th point of the night. That's his first field goal.
Yeah, nice answers. Now we need to get it done defensively.
23-19, and a wild drive and take will not go for Coleman, but he'll go right back to the free throw line on team foul number 4, and this will be the first one of the night for Mikey Nichols, the junior. More substitutions to come as Coach Myers comes over to check and make sure Parker's all right. Again, not sure he was treated too kindly by the floor on that spill earlier with Mars as Jake will check out. Also checking out Colton Nicholson. Rolodex continues for both coaches as they shuffle through the deck trying to find a group of 5 they like. Minute 11 to play here in the first half. First free throw was up and good. Second one as well. So 4 straight for Coleman from the free throw line, giving 4 from the field as well. So he's got 8 on the night as Holden's pickpocketed. Turnover number 7 of the half. And Harvey on that right side hanging out. To make sure we keep an eye on him. Parker's matched up with him. Senators in a little man-to-man defense. Little nickel looking to half court. Under 50 seconds to play now in the half.
Should be a big stop here. 45 seconds to go, 6-point deficit. Be a nice stop here if we can get one.
See if we could mirror what happened at North Harrison. We were down 8. Parker got the steal and pitch ahead to Holden for a layup. As the buzzer sounded, that picture in the paper the other day of him hitting that layup before the half, which cut it to 6. Would come out of the locker room, actually cut it to 4, but North Harrison responded. So see if we can't get something similar in the way of momentum going in to the half. And now Sturgeon will set the offense, and they'll go a little double high post, try to screen out of it. And Harvey has a shot blocked by Parker, and a jump ball called with 4 seconds to play, and it'll stay with Crawford County. So now we'll have to defend the inbounds play. 25-19, and here comes Dearborn back in for Nick Stroud. So 6'5" for 6'6". Jake's going to come in as well to help Nick out in the post to defend perhaps the lob that could be forthcoming as Nichols checks out of the ball game. Abel's on the ball. And Jake and Nick switch. They're going to throw it out. Dearborn's going to have to catch. Hands it off to Sturgeon. Deep three won't go. And time's going to expire here in the first half. 25-19 your score. Senators trailing it by 6, but hanging tough through the first 16 minutes of play. We'll step aside, take a break, start totaling up some first half stats. We'll come back to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Senator halftime report right after a word from a few of our sponsors. You're listening to Senator basketball tonight in conference play on your leader for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
Hello, police. Yeah, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Back here beside Ron Smith Court, where the Senators trail the Crawford County Wolfpack 25-19. Coach Jones chucking some ducks here. That one wasn't real good. Come on, Coach Jones. Oh, that one's just outside the bullseye. Anyway, you don't want to hear this. So anyway, we'll do some stats while she's chucking her ducks. So first half stats for inside the arc. Senators go 6 of 9 from inside three-point land, but only 1 of 7. Behind the line. And I think that's where the difference is going to be, where Crawford County went 4 of 8 from behind the arc for 50%. 4 for 10 inside the arc for 40%. Both teams shot 44% total. So I think really with a six-point lead, I think you can look at Crawford County hitting 4 of 8 three-pointers and the Senators only going 1 for 7. I think that, turnovers are pretty even, I think. But, Coach Jones won the chuck-a-duck. Nice.
Well.
What do you say about that, Coach Jones?
1 for 2 is not bad. I'm batting 500. And I need to know. Look, they're taking the ducks, the sheet. They're taking everything, including my money. What's the deal? Hey,
I don't know.
one for two isn't bad so far. Batting 500. No, I did not say that. Huh? What did he say? Hey, that's why you're wearing that Kentucky shirt. That's why you're wearing that Kentucky shirt.
Coach Jones fired up. What is that, $50?
I don't know. Look at this.
Oh, here comes
Megatron himself, Nick Mars.
Nick Baker bringing
Or
some
Nick
money
Baker.
Nick
Huh?
Baker.
Can you have what? You get half? No. Nobody's telling me how much I want.
It's a big secret. Coach Jones won't. If they just hand you a dollar bill, I'd be mad right now.
I've got a decent investment in this.
How many ducks did you buy?
Well, see, the shooter in me wants to say I only bought one. It only took
well,
one.
I know better than that because I about sit on them twice. There's a whole flock of ducks.
I don't know. I had 6 or 7 there swimming around. Actually, look. I bought 7.
You didn't
I
even
bought
throw
7
one of
and
them.
didn't even throw one.
One's down there by my feet.
I have to have Aaron. You might have to push that all the way through. I don't know here.
Yeah, so you didn't even need that one. So next time buy one less.
Had a spare.
Yeah.
Had a spare. So
anyway,
I need to know what
I think this is something. There's a conspiracy going on right now. Because they said Misty Jones, the big winner of Chuckaduck, and then everybody just left.
Everybody took their ducks and went home with my money, I guess.
I
because
think
I'd
they
get
are
to
mad
see the
that
cold
you've
hard
won
cash.
that 3 times in the last year and a half. So
Nick Baker let me down. He came over here and asked if I'd split the money, and I said no, and then he walked off too. So I guess I'm not getting any money. I'm not.
They don't
sure
think it's fair that you come in at lunchtime and practice.
Now wait a minute. That only happened one time. one time, and that was last year. Let's let bygones be bygones here. Hey.
Anyway, 25-19.
Can't complain. Senators are within striking
Got
distance.
our stop at the end.
At some point, I'll have some cold hard cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
We'll be good to go. So let's step aside. We'll take a break, and we'll let the adrenaline rush of tossing plastic ducks out onto the floor onto a painted bed sheet kind of settle and simmer down, and we'll come back
it's
with
as exciting as you think it. In your imagination,
it's
radio
a pretty
land.
big deal.
It is a big deal.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll run down the individual scoring right after this word from another one of our sponsors.
Kind of went all Bill Walton on him for a while.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Back here at the Ron Smith Court, where it is halftime. It's 25-19. Let's run down the scoring first for the Crawford County Wolfpack. Huh? 4:30. No, I don't know about that. We'll see. Claude's trying to get me in trouble now with the rest of the fan base here tonight. I think he just set me up for a Chuckaduck clinic at 4:30 tomorrow after school. Not for sure. Let's run down the scoring first for Crawford County. 25 points on the board here at the half. 14 from the freshman Trevor Harvey, including 4 triples made from downtown. Preston Coleman with 8 as well, and Matt Dearborn with 3. Caleb Newton and Noah Sturgeon went scoreless in the first 16 minutes of play. Noah Adams, Nick Stroud, Christian Carlton, and Colton Nicholson all play off the bench, but are unable to tally in the first half of play, as the Wolfpack go 5 of 6 from the free throw line for 83% and commit just 2 turnovers, both coming in the first quarter of play. Meanwhile, for the Senators, off on my scoring here just a little bit. I'm missing 2 points in the book somewhere. Holden has a 2-point field goal to his credit for 2 points thus far on the night. Cam Zink 1 of 2 from the free throw line, or excuse me, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. That may have been where one of them went to. Cam 2 of 2 in the first half from the charity stripe for his 2 points. Parker Green in the first half of play, a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer to his credit for 5 points. Harrison Sanford with 2 points here at the half. Nick Mars with 2 2-point field goals in the first half as well. Jake Strange, Mikey Nichols, Caden Abels all play off of the bench for Coach Smith in the first half of play. Strange with 4 in the first half of play. Abels and Nichols go scoreless, so maybe my count was right. Yeah, there we go. That's the other one. So there's my 8 points. So I just didn't have both free throws for Cam. As we're about ready to start the third quarter of play, I tell you what, let's pause 10 seconds one more time for station identification, and we'll get the third quarter underway. Senators trail at 25-19 as we close down our Eddie Gilstrap Motors of Salem Senator post or halftime report.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Senators will open up the third quarter of play with the basketball, and they'll go back with their original starting 5, as does Crawford County, with the exception of Noah Adams getting the start over Caleb Newton in the backcourt. As the third quarter now underway, and Coach, I think I found where my Chuck-a-Duck money went. I asked Coach Bousman, and I believe that scoundrel sitting down there at the end of the bench running the sound system has taken my money and put it in his pocket. So
you can't trust those ADs. I don't know. They're always looking for money. They're always looking for
stashing their
donations.
pockets. I don't know. Maybe he's raising funds to put together a tennis program around here. I don't know. We'll see. As
long as you didn't say it, I won't say it. There could be some soccer fans out there.
Oh boy. I don't know about that. There may be a war if soccer comes in before tennis here. Half minute gone by. Senators with the basketball. Parker, strong take right baseline. Kicks out to Holden, who skips it around now on the perimeter to Zink, to Mars, and Mars throws it away. Turnover number 8. So dry possession out of the gate for West Washington.
It's not a good start.
Senators dry on a possession with a careless turnover. Trying to make him pay was Coleman, who missed the jumper from 17 feet straight away. Oh, wow. Holden was bringing it across the timeline. Better make sure he's not bleeding. Maybe split his head open in the back a little bit. I'm not sure.
I was down marking a Holden's rebound. What happened? I didn't even see what happened there.
Holden came down the floor. He felt the pressure and hesitated, stopped the dribble, and Dearborn come charging up behind him like a rear-end collision and went actually over top of him, rolled off of Holden's back.
Thinking about back tipping it or something, that he couldn't stop in time.
Smacked the back of his head. And birthday boy able to apply the brakes. I have to talk to him about this deal with his shorts. He's got those suckers rolled up.
He's OG Ananobi in it right now.
He's either went OG Ananobi. I was thinking more like the late 1980s, early 90s Bad Boys Pistons with those shorts on out there. I don't know. 6:53 and counting, and a nice strong take by Harrison Sanford right down Main Street. He's got 4, and we're to a 4-point game. Just like down at North Harrison, cut it to 4 right out of the break. Holden with a nice, strong defensive rebound. He'll push in transition. Beautiful feed ahead to Nick Mars for 2 more. Great feed, great dime for Holden to the senior Nick Mars.
That's the biggest thing, finishing those passes. That's happened to several of our guards. Make a nice pass, but we can't finish underneath.
6'6" Nick Stroud back into the ball game. Zink with a poke away from behind. Working against the freshman Adams. And now Holden will apply pressure to Sturgeon. 2-point game, closest it's been in quite some time. 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter of play. Sturgeon with it out top, right back in the corner Nice little crossover move getting into the paint was Adams. He had it poked away, but it'll be a travel.
I thought they were going to get Harrison with the reach in, but they called the travel first. So we keep scrapping back. 5:56, only down 2 here. And the big thing is making smart decisions. We talk about it all the time. What's our decision making going to be like? Well, so far tonight, the decision making has been great. I mean, it's no silly fouls, no silly passes, no silly turnovers. So far, so good for the Senators.
Senators a chance to tie or take the lead back. They had the early lead as Coach Smith directing traffic. They kick out, and Harrison swings it down inside. DeMar's turnaround jumper missed it, and a nice offensive rebound putback attempt as Harrison started wiping the glass clean. Give that boy a sponge or a rag with the Windex bottle. Doing some work here in the third quarter, and Harrison earned a trip to the free throw line on the year. Harrison 16 of 28 for 57% from the foul line. First one is up and good. Again, just a 57% free throw shooter. Harrison's got 5 now on the night. One more will tie us up. That'll be our 4th tie of the night if he can knock this second one down. Caden Abels back into the ball game for Coach Smith, and nothing but string music. As we got our 4th tie.
When a couple guys on the team struggle from the free throw line, it seems like everybody struggles.
Coach Smith telling his senior Nick Mars leave the ball alone. It'll be a player warning for delay of the game. 2.5 gone by in the third.
When a couple struggle, it seems like the whole team struggle. Right now we're 6 of 6 from the line, so it's kind of weird how that works. When you see a guy hit a couple, then everybody else seems to like loosen up or something, or more confident.
Box set here, they'll slip a guy off of a double screen out top as they close the gate. They could not free up their sharpshooter, Harvey. They get it back to him in the corner, but he's picked up and heckled by Parker Green. Out front, working the dribble drive, the other freshman, Adams. He's going to leave it off on the baseline, and Coleman is going to knock down the jumper, give him 10 now on the night. It's 27-25. Senators searching for their first lead since early on in the first quarter, as Parker able to contain and break pressure, gives it off to Harrison, and then he'll be bumped and knocked into the backcourt. That's going to draw the displeasure of some Crawford
I think it's
friends.
The right call, but we got bailed out a little bit. He didn't have to push.
Harrison was afraid that he wouldn't be able to get it before he crossed the timeline and committed the over and back, but he got help getting shoved into the backcourt, as that's the 3rd foul on Coleman.
I think if you're, like I said, if you're watching that, that's probably the right call. It's just
3-0 the foul count. Crawford committing 3 out of the halftime break. Senators a chance again to tie it back up or take the lead back. Again, it'd be the first time since the first quarter. Parker with it out front, dribble drive, stops, high post give, Holden little Euro step, leaves it off underneath for Harrison, and he'll be whistled for a travel. Coach Smith, I think, would have rather Holden just go ahead and take that off the little Euro, try to throw it up. He's got that one-hand runner in his arsenal and actually shoots it with his weak hand. 4:22 and counting, third quarter, as they go to their 5-out spread look. Pass cut through the paint and replace. Out front, Sturgeon with it. Gives it off to Adams, the freshman. Works again, this time against Abels into the paint. Kicks it out to Coleman. He'll try to take it.
Oh, no. Wrong. You are not correct, sir, on that one. That's going to be a clean swipe. And they get Holden for the hold, I guess.
Nickel dimer. Bargain basement variety. First foul of the half for West Washington. Halfway point of the third underneath. Harrison trying to get worked in the post. But it is Coleman who cannot finish, and Harrison quickly gets it back on the feed in the front court. Out to Abels, dribble drive into the paint, pull-up jumper, won't go from the elbow. Working it offensive glass again. Mr. Windex, Harrison Sanford, gets hammered across the arm. Team foul number 4. Foul's going to go on Caleb Newton. That's his first one of the night, so box set for the Senators to inbound. Parker, the trigger man, will try to get it into Harrison. They do. He turns. Turnaround jumper won't go. Rebound ping-pongs around. And finally off into the hands of Newton. Back on the attack, Sturgeon with it, now right wing dribble drive against Holden. Holden cuts him off, no real estate left. As they swing it over to Adams, back out to Coleman. Coleman, nice crossover, nifty move to free himself up against Harrison. Harrison will get pegged with the personal, team foul number 2.
Oh, they're getting
Harrison.
Holden.
They're going to get Holden again.
Get your body there. Hey, you got 2, be smart now.
3:26 to play. Holden picks up his second instead of Harrison picking up his second. 4-2 on the foul count. And out front, it will be the freshman Adams to work the dribble between the circles. He'll start to work his way right side. Now back to the middle. Takes a high screen from Coleman. Little hit check. Able to free himself up against Abels as Abels got the worst of that.
Got to be able to keep a guy in front.
29-25, under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Nice job of skying up to save that possession on the pass. Holden turnaround jumper. It wouldn't go. Maybe a bit forced on that one. Senators will have to hustle back. As Papa Bousman said, the same thing I just did. Don't force. 2:44 and counting.
Especially that's a couple of bad possessions by the Senators when we had a chance to take the lead, actually.
Harvey could not get it to go on the kick. Excuse me, Newton rather couldn't get it to go on the kick from Adams. And the Senators with a chance here. Nice catch and rip. You know,
that was one of those that we may not have wanted that one call because he actually got to the rim and laid it in. But it's the same call that Holden's getting down here. Go ahead, finish.
Dearborn will check back in with Nichols. Holden will check out with Newton. So substitutions apiece. No, I was just going to make the point that that physical, aggressive take on the catch and rip is something that I think we don't do enough justice to our young kids when we're teaching them fundamentally how to move with the basketball in an early age. I don't think we teach that rip and take to the basket enough. You know, we work a lot on pivot, you know, our different types of dribbles. As Mikey works the offensive glass, couldn't get the putback to go, but just think sometimes maybe we could spend a little bit more time with our footwork, working that rip and take, coming across the body strong with the basketball. 2-minute warning, third quarter, 29-25. Again, Crawford up by 4. Been stuck here for a while. Nice poke away on the double team down on Dearborn. Parker and Nick Mars both there at the scene of the crime. They're going to get Parker Green, or excuse me, Nick Mars, and he picks up number 2.
They're being really, they're calling everything down here, but I'm not too sure that we're not getting the same call down on the other side.
Underneath, Dearborn able to shake free from Parker enough to get a basket to roll around and in. That's just his second field goal of the night. It's back to a 6-point game at 31-25. Little matchup zone out top for the Crawford County Wolfpack. 3 ball on the way. Rattles home for Nick Mars. How about it? Big man steps us out and shows his range. He's got 9, and it's 31-28.
Needed that one.
Dribble drive, Sturgeon had Nichols off the dribble, instead kicks it out. And the freshman Adams will work the dribble out top against Abels. Into the paint, high post, has to kick out, and they'll go back to Sturgeon on the ball reversal. 70 seconds to go here in the period. 31-28 on the take. Count it and 1.
Got to keep your guy in front. I mean, that's a situation where your buddy really hurt you defensively because we didn't keep him in front. So now Nick has to come late and try to block the shot. He gets the
Mars picks up his third. He'll check out. Nichols will check out. Abels will check out. Wholesale exchange here. So it's Harrison out there with Jake, Parker, Holden, and Cam. 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior. Sturgeon will try to finish the and 1 opportunity. He's a 78% free throw shooter. And it barely, I'm not sure if it even caught the little islet on the bottom of the rim, Coach, because they waved it off. Crawford just their second miss of the night from the charity stripe, now 5 of 7. And under a minute to play, the Senators are content to hold for 1. 3-2 zone, or excuse me, 2-3 zone rather. It was a 3-2 on the last trip, so switching things up. Keeping my tongue off balance as well. Holden gets into the paint, runner won't go, but how about that? He follows his own miss. Holden's got 4 on the night. Make it now 33-30.
Again, we talked about at the end of the half, boy, it'd just be nice to get a stop here. Well, here we are with 30 seconds to go, 33-30. A stop would be huge.
Holden comes out, extends pressure to put the count on Sturgeon, forces him to give it up. 20 seconds to play. Spin move by Adams. And on the kick out, Coleman now looking to try to take again against Harrison. They may ISO for him. They got an overload right now on the left side. Out top, Sturgeon comes back to get it as he'll work against Holden. He'll try to pressure. They'll feed. Double team in the post. Coleman throws up a wild prayer. It won't go.
Chance.
And a kick out will go, wouldn't you know it? And to the sharpshooter, it's Trevor Harvey on the kick out. Second chance points, costly at the end of the quarter. So we'll roll into the fourth with the Senators trailing it by 6. That's been a popular lead tonight for Crawford. 36-30, and Coach Smith getting into his young pups right now for their effort on the defensive glass or lack thereof. We'll roll to the fourth in just a moment, but first a word from a sponsor. You're listening to Senator Basketball tonight on Salem's 1220.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Coach, you're going to have to help me out here. I'm books off again by a point. I'm on the struggle bus tonight, so I'm going to let you help me pick up the slack here maybe at the next dead ball opportunity. 36-30 as we roll into the fourth quarter. Senators down by 6.
Well, this could be devastating. I mean, they hit a 3 when they shouldn't have even had the rebound, and now they have the ball out of the break. This could be a...
Really more like a 5-point swing, and underneath, Jake trying to defend against Dearborn. Jake's going to pick up the personal. Check that. Must have got him late on the help. Thought they were going to get Jake for the bump of the body. So team foul number 5. 5 apiece now. It was 4-0 out of the halftime break on the foul count. And it's quickly evened as Strange will check out. Mars back into the ball game. Third quarter, Coach, I had Holden for 2.
Yes.
I had Harrison with 3. A 2-pointer.
Oh, he had 4. He hit both of his free throws.
Okay. Me and the free throws tonight.
As did Dearborn just now.
I am struggling mightily here.
5 points. 33-30 to 38-30.
Big swing as Dearborn knocked them both down. Largest lead of the night now at 8, 38-30. Still plenty of time, 7.5 to play in regulation. Mars will let another one fly. That one ill-advised as it's an air ball, way too strong from the right corner. And we'll come back to the other end as Sturgeon sets the offense in motion.
If we don't get a stop here, it almost take a timeout.
Settle the nerves here a little bit. Get us back in rhythm a little bit on both ends of the floor for that matter. Minute gone by. Adams had it poked away by Zink. Zink elected not to go diving after it. Instead plays his man straight up. And Crawford, at this rate, Coach would be pretty content on just dribble, drive, pass, and burn clock. But a turnover by Adams. Parker with the steal the other end. Get rode the whole way like a jockey on Derby Day. And this horse is bucking because he kicks the defender off the last second, frees himself up for an and-one opportunity as Parker finishes off the glass. He's got 7 on the night. Let's see if I can mark this one correctly in the book, Coach. 38-32. Parker on the year, 14 to 21, 67%. First free throw attempt of the night, and that one well short, no legs. And then Harrison, though, comes up with a steal. Dearborn had it, bobbled it. Turnover number 4 for Crawford. And the Senators back in business. Need a score here, though. Doesn't have to be a 3. Just a good, solid look. Holden kicks baseline to Harrison, who feeds inside. Nice assist on the feed to the mid-post as Nick gets the turnaround jumper. His strong night continues. Nick now has 11 in the ball game. 38-34 underneath, though. Lob feed and no backside help for Harrison. Got to bring that backside help. Girls will have the same issue the next couple of nights if they're fortunate enough to get through tomorrow night's game with Shaw. They've got a big girl that can definitely ball down low. She's an all-left player, so they'll have to offer help side. And, of course, if they get to Saturday night, they got Janes and Hackman likely waiting in the wings. But timeout on the floor taken for Crawford County. It's a full timeout. With 6:15 to go. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and come back with more right after this.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
6:15 to play, fourth quarter, 40-34 your score. And guess what, Coach? Still no money in my pocket. Me and the AD may have a throwdown when this one's over.
He's crazy if he thinks you're going to forget about that.
No. Whew. Parker got whistled for a travel across the way. Turnover number 10 in the ball game. They've done a much better job thus far. Knock on wood of taking care of the basketball after 7 in the first half. Holden giving chase to Sturgeon, forcing him to slow things up.
That was an empty possession. Man, just
40-34. Got to remember, folks, Crawford County been a thorn in the side of West Washington again. 8 straight wins against the Senators. Coach Smith looking for his first win in conference play against Crawford County in his 4th season here in Campbellsburg. Poke away. Harrison with the steal, tries to feed ahead. Back-to-back turnovers as they give it back. And to the other end, we had insult to injury with a hard foul. Mars not wanting a layup to be given here. I have free throws forthcoming by Preston Coleman, the 5'11 sophomore. He's a 76% free throw shooter, and Mars just picked up his 4th. Strange to check in, likely for Mars. First free throw is up and rattles home for Coleman. He's now 5 for 5 on the night. 41.
Getting into some danger territory right now. 41-34 down 7. That's probably as big as the lead has been for a while. So, I mean, we're going to have to do something here offensively.
Substitution for Crawford as well on that exchange as Colton Nicholson, the 6'4 sophomore, checks in. Coleman continues his shooting ways and touch from the free throw line. Now 6 for 6 on the night. Give him 12 overall in the ball game, and it's 42-34. 8-point lead matches the largest of the night for the Wolfpack. Zink with it out front, left side. Dribbles out of trouble against the double team. Back to Bousman at the top. He splits the double team. He's bottled up, gives it up to Harrison and gets it right back. Skips it cross court. Parker, quick 3 on the way. He won't go. And Dearborn over the back of Harrison. They're going to get Harrison for the reach. So we're in bonus territory.
Yeah.
Senators picking up their 7th personal.
Dearborn's 2 for 2 tonight. So, I mean, actually, they've shot I think they've only missed twice tonight. So.
Yep. 2 misses in all on the evening. That's it for Crawford County from the free throw line. And Dearborn, who had one of the 2 misses, soaks the first. He had 3 in the first half.
Boy, that play at the end of the 3rd quarter was a killer. Honestly, I thought we had the momentum. It was, I think, 33-30 at that point. We got our stop, and we were ready to go. Since that play, the missed shot, we fumbled the rebound, they get it back, hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer. Since that point, it's, 11-3 11 to 4 since.
And Crawford will settle in defensively, enjoying their first double-digit lead of the night at 44-34. Zink, Abels, Bowsman, Green, four-guard set out there with Harrison Sanford working the middle of that zone. 3-2 matchup. Zink will fire a three right side. That one off the mark, no good. Pulled down on the defensive glass. Coleman gets up for the board. Gives it off now to Adams, who has it poked away from behind. Abels, nice job of getting on the floor. And Coach Carmichael forced into a 30-second timeout to try to help save the possession as Abels was trying to get after it in the backcourt. 4:25 to go. We'll keep it right here. Reminder, the JV in action earlier tonight. Coach Sullivan's group, though, falls 56-42. A little short-handed on the JV side of things this evening as they fall now to 10-5 overall on the year. Again, Senators looking for win number 7 at the varsity level. Both of these teams 6-9 ball clubs, 1-2 in conference play. And while we have a moment, Crawford still in the huddle. Don't forget, fans, tomorrow night we'll open up our coverage of girls sectional action. 43rd annual IHSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever. Lady Senators drawing a bye. They'll have their semifinal round game. That'll actually be a 6 o'clock tip. They'll play game 1 against Shaw Memorial. The Lady Hilltoppers getting a big win over Crothersville here on Tuesday. Our pregame coverage will come on. Special airtime will be on around 5:30 or just shortly thereafter with extended pregame coverage for the Lady Senators and Lady Hilltoppers in sectional 62 as ball got stuck and wedged between the rim and backboard. And on the jump ball, because of it, it will be Senator basketball at the 4:08 mark. Mars to check back in with those 4 personals. Next dead ball opportunity as Harrison got bumped on his way to the hoop.
Nice
team foul number 7 on the Wolfpack. Couldn't get the little teardrop to fall. And Matt Myers will have a word with the senior Mars at the scorer's bench. And that's going to be 4 on Dearborn. So both bigs for their respective teams in a little bit of foul trouble here as Adams will check in. And he will come in and spell Coleman. Mars comes in to spell his classmate Zink. So Parker and Holden out there with Abels, Mars, and Sanford. First one was up, no good. Second one is good. So Harrison 3 of 4 on the night. Been nice to have that 3-point play though.
Yeah.
44-35.
This is getting into, like, if you heard Coach Smith's pregame talk interview with you, this isn't something that he really wants to do, I don't think, anymore, is pressure. But now, down 9, we have to.
Let's come out and give chase, or these guys will continue to chew clock in this little spread offense. Pass and slash. Little double high screen action here. They'll close the gate and bring a shooter out. That's Harvey. Deep 3 from the parking lot. It won't go. And rebound chased down. Last touch by Crawford. And now Kevin Woolsey will be called back to mid-court by Dave Hedge, and they'll talk this over. Surely they won't reverse it. And they won't, as Hedge and Woolsey will talk it over, and it'll stay Senator basketball. And Coleman will check in and give the sharpshooter Harvey a break. 3:29 to go.
We need a bucket here. If we want to make a comeback, we got to get a bucket here.
Really need a bucket or at least a trip to the foul line. Each of these remaining possessions as Parker drives, feeds to a wide open Nick Mars. Oof.
He fumbles it out of bounds.
Little butterfinger action as he drops it out.
Just got a little bit ahead of himself and couldn't control it.
Drops it out over the baseline. 5 turnovers now in the half, 12 in the game. And to the other end, Adams hits the little runner, and that could have been perhaps a big-time dagger into the heart
swing
of the Senators. 46-35, largest lead of the night. On the kick, corner, Holden feeds. Parker with another 3. And Parker into double-figure scoring. He's got 10 on the night, makes it 46-38.
Another steal by Holden.
In the backcourt, gives it off to Abel, spins, out of control shot, will not go. Rebound fought for, players on the floor. It's a jump ball, and it'll go to Crawford County on the alternating possession with 2:46 to play. Crawford looking to throw it long. Instead, will throw it underneath. Holden and Mars fighting for it on the floor. And
I think they said Crawford touched the ball while standing out of bounds.
Okay. Nonetheless, it'll be a turnover. That's their 7th of the night. 5 of them coming in this second half. Double stack again on the ball side. Mars and Abels on the block. Mars will clear out. They'll feed in the corner. And I thought that was a kick ball as Abels tried to feed into the post. Coach Carmichael wanted to make
we get a bucket there. I mean, we're right back in it.
Out top, Sturgeon will slow it up and hold against
with the young
Holden.
team sometimes. I mean, I know we've played 15, but this is still inexperienced.
Rolling up on 2 minutes to play in regulation. 46-38. Senators need another big stopper still. They have to start looking at giving up fouls, but this team, a pretty good shooting team from the free throw line, as we've seen tonight. They're around 77-78% on the year, and another runner will go for the freshman. Adams with all 6 of his coming in the second half. Back to a 10-point lead at 48-38, and this one's starting to slip away from Senator Nation. Timeout on the floor, minute 58 to go, called by Coach Sean Smith and his Senator crew. We'll step aside, take a break, get a word in from a sponsor, and come back with more right after this.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet, and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Out of the timeout, Senators need something and quick as Green controls out front, left side, kicks back out to Holden. Now try to lob it underneath to Harrison. Harrison works in the double team, kicks out to Holden, extra pass to Zink. 3-ball on the way, couldn't get it to go, rimmed in and out. Rebound pulled down by Newton and the Wolfpack. Newton catches at midcourt. Now will feed ahead. Little 2-on-2 break, and Dearborn will get fouled at the rim. So the Senators commit team foul number 8. Stop the clock. The problem is Crawford, a good free throw shooting team. Dearborn on the night, already 5 of 6 by himself for 83%. And that one will go against Harrison Sanford, his 3rd. And as Dearborn misses, so maybe a little bit of the commentator's hex, as I found out during the break. Apparently the Campbellsburg Town Marshal, doing an investigative report, found out that I'm going to have 35% of my winnings taken out. 3rd time you win it, Coach, they take 35% out. I'm not sure what kind of rule or tax rule that falls under, but
you may want to check the legalese or the fine print at the bottom of that contract.
Go read that contract or read the fine print on those rules, terms and conditions. As Parker drives left side, he misses. Mars offensive rebound, he throws it away, and that'll lead to a fast break opportunity and a layup drill for Preston Coleman, who gets his 2nd field goal of the half. He's got 14 in the ball game. And a delay of game called again, this time on Crawford County. 61 seconds to play. 51-38. Largest lead of the night for the Wolfpack. Harrison will check out of the ball game. Mikey Nichols will check in. Another shooter on the floor. Back to the 4-guard set. Now under a minute to play. Nichols, if he was sleeping with his eyes open or what, Holden threw it to him and he bobbled it. Caught it off of his chin, it looked like maybe, or cheek, and dropped it out of bounds in front of the cheerleaders across the way. And that is turnover number 7 of this second half, 14 overall in the ball game.
Yeah, that's probably too many.
Senators now give chase defensively. Harvey catches in the front court, splits a double team, and leaves it off for Sturgeon. Trying to give up the foul from the swipe from behind. Holden can't give it up. We'll see if the Senators continue to try to foul or if they just let this one play out.
I think they've been trying to get it. The refs just haven't given it to us.
Out front, traps on again.
I don't know if you even need to now.
Adams gives it off underneath. Dearborn counted in one. Of all the times, that's the time it's going to be counted. So Dearborn working on a monster fourth quarter. Only had 3 points in the first half. We'd done a really nice job on him. He picked up a couple of early fouls. He's working on points, or point number 10 rather, as he misses that, but we give up the offensive rebound to Harvey, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Senators tonight, as going to fall here on their home floor once again. Of course, Coach, you look at this. This is just the 5th home game. So Senators will drop to 1-4 on the Ron Smith court as Crawford nearly turned it over. Of course, as fate would have it, they're able to maintain possession, get the dangerous pass back, as time's going to expire on this one, and Crawford going to come into Dr. T. Kermitara Gymnasium, still another one, and now 9 straight wins over this Senator ball club and program, and Coach Smith will drop to 0-4 against Crawford County all time, as it's a 15-point win for Crawford in conference play, 53-38 the final. Senators unable to get anything cooking. Just 8 points in the fourth quarter alone. That's just not going to get it done, whether you're at home or not, conference play or not. At the varsity level, 8 points in the fourth quarter is bound to be doomed unless you're going into the fourth with about a 35-point spread, as the Senators will fall now to 6-10 on the year, 1-3 in conference play. Crawford goes the other direction, now 7-9 on the year, 2-2 in the conference standings in the Patoka Lake. We'll step aside, take a break, hear from some sponsors. We'll come back and begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game wrap-up here from the Ron Smith court, as tonight the Senators fall by 15 in conference play. Back with more right after this.
Hello, police. Yeah, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
inside the friendly confines here, courtside at the Ron Smith Court. Senators fall on their home floor tonight, 53-38, the final in conference play, as Crawford gets a much-needed win in this battle of teams struggling to find an identity and to get any kind of momentum as we are now into the month of February. Crawford tonight gets 3 players in double figures. Senators managed to only get 2 guys in double figures in a somewhat balanced effort. But again, that fourth quarter, Coach, the real bugaboo, just 8 points and also just 8 in the second quarter. And, you know, it's just, I don't care if you've got a veteran team of all seniors like we had pretty much last year, or whether you have a bunch of young guys and you have 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior on the floor like we have sometimes. It's hard to win if you scored single digits at the varsity level in 2 or more quarters in a ball game.
Yeah, it's bad when it's one, but like you said, we did it twice tonight. Yeah, it's just inconsistency, and you know, we shot 11 of 23 inside the arc, 48%. I mean, that's right where you want to be. Behind the arc, 2 of 13. So where they shot 5 of 11 for 46%. We shot 15% from behind the arc. They shot 46.
Cold outside, cold inside, huh?
Yeah, that's, and they shot what, 13 of 16? Is that what you had free throw wise? I have us 7 of 9. You know, that's interesting. Coach Smith's like, we want to shoot, we want to make more than the other team attempts. Well, that actually got reversed against us tonight. They actually made 13 where we only shot 9. And that is, you've talked about that throughout the year. We don't get to the line very much. I mean, yeah, we were kind of struggling. Maybe that was a good thing for a while when we're only shooting 60%, but we shot 7 of 9 tonight. You know, we shot 78%. You know, so if you're going to shoot them like that, yeah, you want to get to the line. But yeah, that has been a bugaboo all year long. It's just, and you know, our guards, you know, especially don't get to the line very much. You would think Holden and those guys would get to the line a little bit more than they do, but you know, mostly it's our posts that go. But you know, that's another thing that they had a little bit more experience, and they, you know, they only 5 of 11. I thought, you know, rebounding again, we out-rebounded them, 18-14, 8 offensive boards, held them to, as big as they are. They only had 2 offensive boards the whole night.
Wow.
You know, we had, you know, everything else is pretty even. 11 assists for them, 10 assists for us, 9 and 10 steals for them, 9 steals for us. You know, everything's pretty much even, except, you know, it just seems like it's one thing a game. One game it's turnovers. Another game it's we really struggle from the field. You know, I think this game was one behind the arc and the free throw line. Where, like I said again, they went 13 of 16. We went 7 of 9 from the charity stripe, and you know that was pretty big. They hit 5 of 11 from behind the arc for 46%, and they shot 53% total, where we shot 15%. Which, you know, they said it's probably 15 degrees outside. That's what we shot from behind the arc. 15%, you know, we shot 36% overall. So, you know, tonight it was all about shooting, and we didn't shoot real well tonight. You know, I thought the effort was better than New Wash, but, you know, again, at some point we got to put it all together if we want to advance. And this team is very capable of winning a sectional, but we're going to have to put some things together.
Yeah. Let's run down some of the individual. Coach Gibson's given you a majority of the team statistics,
right.
And so let's go ahead while we're waiting on Coach Smith to make his way down. Let's run through the individual scoring. First for Crawford County, again with the win. They go to 7-9 on the year, 2-2 in conference play. 3 guys in double figures out of the starting 5. Matt Dearborn, 14 points on the night, including a nice solid effort from the free throw line as well. But most of his damage, in fact, 9 of his 14 points come in that fourth quarter alone. Trevor Harvey, of course, had the hot hand. He had 14 at the half, including 4 from downtown. Chipped in a fifth three-point basket there in the third quarter, but scoreless in the fourth, so he ends his night with 17 to lead all scorers. Preston Coleman also chipping in 14 to go with Dearborn's 14 on the night. The backcourt really doesn't do a whole lot except handle the rock pretty well. Sturgeon and Newton combined for just 2 points, those coming from Sturgeon in the third quarter of play. Newton goes scoreless off the bench. Noah Adams, Nick Stroud, Christian Carlton, and Colton Nicholson all play for Coach Carmichael. Adams chips in 6. All of those came in the second half of play as well. So in all, 53 points in the win here tonight for Crawford County. Much like the rest of the night, have things messed up. I had them 12 of 16 for 75%. I think you had them 13 of 16 for 81%. Nonetheless, they shoot the rock really well from the free throw line and make the Senators pay, especially in the second and fourth quarters combined after going 5 of 6 in the first half of play. And really one of the big stories, again, more of a veteran team. They've got 3 seniors in the lineup, a sophomore and a freshman, and they bring some guys with some experience from last year. Got a little taste of that state title run or
really
state
good experience.
Finalist run in them as they go, like I said, 9 deep. They get 6 from Adams. Nobody else scores. But the bench production wasn't, great. But when you only turn it over 7 times, and 2 of those are in the first half, when you can build a lead on the road, you don't need a lot of bench production and all those extra things that sometimes we talk about that are keys to victory.
I didn't realize that, but that's a pretty big key for their victory too. We doubled them, I think. If you say we had 14.
Yes.
So I mean that's a big, and that play at the end of the third quarter, that was a huge momentum.
That was the backbreaker.
It was 33-30. We forced them into a bad shot. And then it just kind of, the rebound just kind of knocks around.
Yep.
They get it. With maybe half a second left, they find Harvey in the corner, and he drains a 3. I don't think we recovered from that.
Tonight for West Washington on the flip side of the scorebook, just 38 points in the loss here this evening. Again, we've been averaging just under 50 a game, so offensive struggle again. 2 quarters of 8 points apiece, 2 quarters of 11 points apiece, just does not get it done. Starters tonight, Holden Bousman with 4, Cam Zink with just 2 on the night, didn't hit a single field goal, went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Instead, Parker Green on the night, 10 points for Parker. He had a 3 and a 2 in the first quarter, did the same in the fourth for his 10-point total here tonight. Harrison Sanford chips in 7. He goes 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Nick Mars with 11 points on the night, did not shoot a single free throw attempt. Jake Strange, Mikey Nichols, and Caden Abels all play off the bench tonight in the 8-man rotation for Coach Smith. Here this evening, Jake Strange chips in 4. Nichols and Abels go scoreless in this one. 38 points the total. Senators 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 78%. They were 4 of 4, not 3 of 4. In the first half for 100%, but the big storyline in comparison, again, just 7 turnovers for Crawford, just 2 in the first half. Meanwhile, the Senators give it up 7 times in each half for 14 total on the night. Scoring after 1, 11-11, nothing settled through that first 8 minutes of play. Senators get worked in that second quarter, though. They get outscored 14-8 and trail at 25-19 going into the halftime break. Third quarter's a wash again, an 11-11 quarter. So nothing really settled still after 3 quarters, although it was a 6-point lead. Senators were still in striking distance heading into the fourth, but they get worked in those even quarters. Second quarter, again, it was 14-8. Fourth quarter, they get outscored 17-8. And the Senators just cannot find their way offensively here tonight as they fall 53-38 is the final. I'm going to step aside, take a break here from another one of our sponsors. Coach Smith starting to make his way down the steps and over across the court this way. So let's get a word in from a sponsor, and we'll come back and have a word with him following tonight's tough loss here at home. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. Back with more right after this.
Looking for your next new or used car? Then head on down and check out the deals at John Jones Auto Group in Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, and Greenville. Whether you visit the lot and take a test drive or visit the virtual showroom online at johnjonesautogroup.com, you'll find the largest selection of GM cars in Kentuckiana. Whether it's a car, truck, or minivan, John Jones Auto Group has something to fit your style and your budget. Bad credit? No problem. We will find the financing that's right for you. At John Jones, we pride ourselves at finding the right deal for your situation. Call or visit today, 1-800-473-5546, or go online at johnjonesautogroup.com and check us out on Facebook and Twitter too. John Jones Auto Group, the largest dealer in southern Indiana, serving Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, Greenville. You see so many because they paid so little.
How much was it? Okay. Just making sure I'm not getting shorted here on my earnings tonight. Well, I could. As Coach Smith missed it, he was hard at work drawing stuff up on the whiteboard. I was Chuck-a-Duck champ tonight.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Congratulations.
One
or two on the night, and tell you what, your guys again, gritty effort, and as I said before you came on, Coach, despite a lagging second quarter offensively, just 8 points. You come back out, you play even again, 11-11 in the third quarter. You gave yourself a chance at least going into the fourth down, just 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the blame for this loss at the end of the third quarter. We had a big possession there. We didn't come up with a rebound. They hit a 3 to make it 6. They're coming out with the ball. We had some issues tonight with just guys, a lot of pouty faces and just bad body language, bad mentality. I feel like just not. We were on our heels most of the night, and I didn't. There was something that happened, and I didn't react very well to it. I poured gas on the fire, and we were still right there, and I didn't take care, and coach at that moment. I got upset with the boys just for their lack of effort and urgency at that moment, and then also how they reacted. So, that was the moment right there. I mean, we had our opportunity, and I didn't take care of what I needed to do there as a coach, and I think after that it just kind of unraveled and fell apart, and we gotta make a decision, right now, if we're going to be contenders or pretenders. And tonight, our body language and our behavior was that of pretenders. And we just thinking about ourselves and thinking about instead of focusing on what we needed to focus on. And it was a possessional game. Every possession mattered, and we didn't have the urgency. At any point, I mean, there was maybe a brief point coming out of the half where I thought we had the urgency, and then all of a sudden we kind of let it get away, and we got back on our heels. And we were on our heels most of the night, and we were just really struggling with our mentality a little bit. And that's something we got to make a decision on, moving forward, because too soon it's gonna be too late.
Right.
It's gonna be over. And how do we want to play down the stretch? Do we want to play like a team trying to win, getting ourselves ready to win a sectional and be, making a move and contending, or we want to play like pretenders and just playing out the string? And I hope that's not what we do, but we got to get our body language in check. There was just a bad vibe, I felt like, tonight, and we can't have that, and we got to fix that.
And sometimes, that's a struggle with a veteran team or any team, but especially when you have a young team that's progressing, and they're a group I truly believe that's learning, but sometimes it's easy to go one step forward, 2 steps back, even with things that maybe some other people don't see, like you're talking about, whether it's within a huddle, whether it's at halftime, whether it's in the course of a game and people aren't really seeing things within the game that's going on. Sometimes those little things like body language, that stuff can add up.
Oh, absolutely. We talk about this a lot, but the ball, it finds energy, and if you're positive energy and kind of have a go-getter, mentality, the ball's going to find you, and you might make a mistake with it, but you're going to make a mistake probably of effort, trying to do the right thing, trying to make a play, trying to do something, and then the ball also finds negative energy, and that's when we don't catch the ball, or we miss a layup, or or on the defensive end, the ball finds you and you're not ready to play defense, and the guy just takes it at you, and you give up an easy basket, or there's an opportunity to come up with a rebound, and the other guy snatches it from you when you need it. So energy, mentality is such a big part of it, and that's why I say I'll take the blame. I didn't handle that well tonight. I didn't coach that very well tonight, and keep the guys focused and create, do a good job of creating energy. Like I said, there was one moment where I thought we had it, and then something happened there in that third quarter, and just like that, we lost it again, and we couldn't ever find it. And some of that, I mean, was, Crawford played their, that zone and kept us off balance, but we didn't attack the zone. We settled. We were, just afraid to be aggressive with it. It seemed like we did. They give us a little resistance, and then we'd be like, all right, that's it. Let's pass it, or jack a shot. And we got to be, we need all our guys got to be more aggressive, and you can't play on your heels in a varsity game and expect to be successful. And tonight we were on our heels most of the night.
And, Coach, we fell victim to something that I know that you guys take pride in as a coaching staff, and something that you try to make a focus in every ball game, or at least a goal of every ball game. You're trying to hit more free throws than the other team attempts. Tonight, Crawford flips the script on your very floor as they are able to go 13 of 16 in the ball game, whereas we went just 7 of 9. So, again, just like you said, maybe a lack of urgency and being content against that zone and not attacking prevented us from trying to get some work done at the free throw line.
Yeah, and when we got it inside the zone, even our interior players played really passive. They just, it wasn't like, Anthony Davis was sitting in the middle of the zone ready to block shots. I mean, we could have took it at him, but we played very passive for whatever reason. And I think, Crawford plays physical. And we just backed down. They got physical with us a little bit, and we didn't respond and take it at them and aggressively, because we talked at halftime. We made a goal that we wanted. With their aggressive play on defense, we thought if we would be aggressive as well offensively, that we could get into the bonus going in. By the end of the quarter, and it started off that way. We got 3 or 4 fouls on them real quick, and then all of a sudden we quit attacking, being aggressive. We quit getting any, really getting any calls, and the next thing you know, I don't know if we got in the bonus until I don't even know if we got in the bonus, and that's disappointing. We didn't reach that goal, because I think if we would have been aggressive throughout that third quarter, we could have reached that goal for sure the way they were playing, but we just didn't take it at them. We were on our heels, and we just didn't. The resistance is just that little bit of resistance. We backed off, and we can't do that. We got to be aggressive and look to make plays and make things happen. And unfortunately, we didn't do that.
Coach, you're no stranger to back-to-backs, Friday, Saturday, and I know it's not a back-to-back, but it's maybe an even more peculiar situation to find yourself in, because with the girls playing here tomorrow night, sectional 62 picking back up, you've got one day to try to prepare now in the midst of all of that to get ready for a Scottsburg team on an early matinee Saturday. So talk to us about how you spend the day tomorrow at practice and what you focus on.
Well, we won't go real long because it is kind of a quick turnaround, and we also have the girls sectional, so we'll have to be off the court at least by 5 or close to 5. But I mean, we'll shoot. We'll definitely do some shooting, and we'll game plan for Scottsburg a little bit. Talk about what we need to try to do to stop them. It's a very winnable game, but I mean, we have to understand we've got to come ready to be aggressive and not be back on our heels. You can't play that way, and we got to be aggressive and go out and fight and battle to win. And because it's not going to be nobody's going to give it to us. There's no easy wins on the schedule where they're just we just throw our shoes out there and win. We got to come compete and fight, and that's something we got to learn to do every night. It can't just be kind of whenever we flip on a switch, but it's a great opportunity Saturday, and we gotta get ourselves ready mentally and be ready to try to come fight for a win Saturday.
Coach, have a good day of prep tomorrow. We appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you prior to the tip Saturday.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Sean Smith here on our Senator Postgame Show, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. We'll let Coach Gibson settle back in. We'll come back to put a bow on this when we come back. Special treat. We're going to sing happy birthday to the birthday boy, a little duet for Holden Bousman as we wrap things up here tonight. We'll come back and also name our player of the game. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. Back to close out our postgame show right after this word from our postgame sponsor, Ace Hardware in Salem.
with the helpful hardware folks.
We just bought a fixer-upper, and I don't know where to begin. So I went to see Paul at our neighborhood Ace.
I told Nate we have everything he needs to help him repair their home, from a wide selection of paint colors, craftsman tools, and the best lawn and garden brands.
Ace is a place with exactly what you need, starting with help.
Save big all month long on Red Hot buys at Ace Hardware of Salem. Find current savings at facebook.com/Ace Hardware of Salem.
For the final time inside the friendly confines here at the Ron Smith Court, where the Senators fall tonight 53-38, the final in conference play to the Crawford County Wolfpack. And as we come back, we'll name our Ace Hardware player of the game tonight. We're going to give it to one of the freshmen, Parker Green. 10 points for Parker on the night to go along with that 10 points. He had 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and an assist. So congratulations to Parker Green, who is our Ace Hardware of Salem player of the game here tonight. In the 15-point loss and some unfinished business here, coaches. We have someone here right before our very eyes, Mr. Holden Bousman. Hard to believe. Basketball season for the boys, 3/4 of the way or better over. He's just now turning 15. I think sometimes, you know, we talk about having a young team. It truly is. When your point guard plays most of his freshman season and he's only 14 years old, well, I think that says a lot for the growth of this team and their ability to play at a young age at this level. But I want to give a little duet. You want to sing a little happy birthday? How about
You
it?
start us out. We'll do this right on air.
Are you going to sing with? You're not going to leave me hanging, are you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holden. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. I think we're getting jeered from the peanut
Is that
gallery.
jeers or cheers?
I don't know.
Surely it's cheers.
Jeers or cheers, one or the other. But happy birthday to Holden
Yep,
Bousman.
happy birthday, kaboom.
Love you, boys.
And now the question is, did his sister sing to him this morning and give him a hug and
I
a kiss?
asked if she gave a hug. And she,
All right, there seems to be a difference in the storytelling between brother and sister
must
here.
have happened. Something must have happened. There we
Oh,
go.
there it is. There's
hug
the hug. There's the hug for the birthday. So she says yes, and Holden said no. She was still in bed this morning whenever they got up and he opened his gifts. So we'll see. But here tonight, again, Senators fall just short. No time to cry over spilled milk. As we said, just a day for them now to get back in the gym, get some shots up, talk about a few things from this one, and get ready for Scottsburg coming in. I believe, again, that's an 11 o'clock JV tip on Saturday. So varsity will go around 12:30, and we'll be on the air for that one somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 after 12. Just shortly after noon, we'll be on for the coverage of the Senators and the Scottsburg Warriors. And as a programming reminder, our busy week continues now. This is the first in a hopefully 4-game stretch as the girls will be in semifinal play. Tomorrow night they'll take on the Lady Hilltoppers, as we said, of Shaw Memorial in Game 1. We'll have our special Lady Senator tip-off pregame show coverage of Sectional 62. It'll begin just shortly after 5:30 with a little bit of our extended pregame show coverage where we'll talk to head coach Darren Russell and get his thoughts on that semifinal matchup and how they closed out the regular season. And then on Saturday, be back here for the boys matinee and hopefully for a girls title game on Saturday night. So again, busy weekend ahead for us on the airways. And Coach, like I said, for the boys, short turnaround, and for the girls, you know, it's kind of the same thing with them. And you talked about this last week. They got to put last week behind them. It was a tough loss here to Paoli, a chance to claim a share of the conference crown. They can't let Paoli beat them tomorrow night, even though they're playing Shaw. They've got to put that mentally behind them and be ready to roll because, you know, Shaw's got a couple of girls that got a nice little inside-outside threat. And, you know, got a girl that's 5'11" on the block, and the Grody kid, yeah, she's she's pretty talented with the rock, and she's got a little bit of range as well. So we'll see if the Senators and Lady Senators can't both get back on track this weekend.
It's like I said, once, you hear it all the time, a cliche, well, you can throw the records out the door. The tournament is a second season. Everybody starts 0-0. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely just forget the regular season. You can revisit it on film or talk about it, later on, but you got bigger fish to fry, and that's sectionals right there for the taking. And, if we want to win sectional, we got to start out with a nice, healthy step, a nice feel-good step, and get us a big win tomorrow.
I think I'm cut to the quick. Rick must have been listening to us on the way home. He sent me a text, said stick to the cookie making. I guess he didn't like our singing. I'm not sure.
Rick, come
he
on
may
now.
not get a cookie tomorrow night.
But I do think some cookies are in order, because I'll take his. I like the big cookies you've been making.
Oh, well, he sent a text that said correct, so we're correct. But now he must have heard the cookie comment, because he just immediately sent back a text that said, "I'm sorry." So
no, it's too late.
It
is too late. Coach Gibson gets that cookie.
Coach Gibson may be taking that peanut butter chocolate chip cookie unless he gets here super early to the hospitality room tomorrow night. He just said this thing's getting out of hand. So
oh boy,
we'll see. I don't know. He may be driving off side of the road. He may be too worried about that cookie. But Coach, we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get us win number 1 in the sectional of the. We'll need 2 of them. Let's get half of them right tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you. And good night.
Here tonight, the Crawford County Wolfpack get 3 players in double figures, led by Trevor Harvey, 17. 14 of those 17 coming in the first half, 14 apiece from Preston Coleman and Matt Dearborn. Meanwhile, the Senators just managed 2 players in double figures, 11 from Nick Mars and 10 from our player of the night, Parker Green, to go along with his 5 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, and an assist. With that said, we want to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball here on Salem's 1220. We also want to take this time to thank our sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator Basketball possible, and Lady Senator Basketball as well. John Jones GM City bringing you our pregame show coverage all season long. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, sponsor of the Senator Halftime Report, and Ace Hardware of Salem bringing you our postgame wrap-up. Each night the Senators and Lady Senators are in action. Also, we want to thank our other sponsors, McDonald's on South Main Street, Marie Lowry and her crew. Great job as always being great sponsors for Senator Basketball and Senator Athletics, as well as Walmart of Salem, Brady Bishop and Channel Seed, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare, because without their generous support, we would not be able to do the job we love each night. The Senators are in action. So please, when you have opportunity, let those sponsors know how much they are truly appreciated. Again, programming reminder. Tomorrow night we'll be on the air just shortly after 5:30 with our special Lady Senator tip-off pregame show brought to you by John Jones as we get you set for semifinal action here in Girls Sectional 62 at West Washington High School. For our studio engineer and producer back at the station tonight, Miss Becky White, great job as always. My sidekick and partner in crime, Coach Mark Gibson. And for Craig Akers, our live stream video operator, this is Misty Jones saying so long and good night from the friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. Senators fall 53-38 the final to Crawford County. Until tomorrow night, enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy birthday, Holden Bousman. Good night, everybody.